So in this question, we're asked, which of the following simplified expressions is equivalent to, well, it's hard to describe it, but 2x squared with a to the fifth power on the outside. So you have to understand how exponents work in order to address this problem. When you have an exponent on the outside of a parentheses, and the inside of the parentheses is just one term, or in other words, a bunch of things multiplied together, it's pretty easy to do. Times where it's more complicated is when you have a plus b to the fifth power. That gets very big and ugly quite fast. But this one is easier than that. It's just 2x, I'm going to write it again over here, 2x squared to the fifth power. And what that means is 2 to the fifth power and x squared to the fifth power. This is one of the properties of exponents. And if you want a formula for it, we can make one right here. I'm going to say a to the b, a times b to the x power. And this equals a to the x times b to the x. Okay, that's what we're doing here. So I'm looking for 2 to the fifth power. Now, remember what 2 to the fifth power means. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times, 5 times. So it's not 2 times 5. And you can see some of these answers have 10 in them. Well, that's just completely wrong. And one of them doesn't even worry about the exponent on the 2. It just has 2 there. Well, that's wrong. 2 to the fifth power is 32. And you can use that simple fact to narrow this down quite a lot. And the next thing we have to do is figure out how to do x squared to the fifth power. Well, if you forget how exponents work, you can always do this. You can say x squared times x squared times x squared, right? 5 times. This is the I forgot what I'm doing way of doing math. And now what's x squared? Well, that's just x times x. So we've got x times x times x times x and 5 times. And how many x's are we going to have when we finish doing that? Let me finish writing all those x's. X times x, x times x, and another x times x at the end. So you see I have 5 pairs of x times x. Each one of those pairs is an x squared. And when you count up how many x's you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 32 times x to the 10th power because I have 10 x's times each other. And there's my answer right there. So what we learned along the way was how you actually deal with exponents. When you have something like this, a to the x power, and it's raised to another power, y, what you do is you say that's just a to the xy. You multiply those exponents together. And there's a lot of exponent rules, and when you forget them, you can just go back to basics and count it out the way I did it right here.